everybody. I'm Marcos.
And I'm Kirsten.
And this is the Minnesota Real Estate Investing Podcast.
Join us every week as we discuss real estate investing in the land of 10,000 lakes.
I think I did it. Hopefully I did it.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Sorry if you didn't.
Welcome, guys, to our last episode of 2022. This is the year end. This week was super busy. So we're here to talk about our goals and why it's important to set goals.
Yep, this week was super busy. So we're here 6:30 at night with the kids upstairs watching a movie. Just trying to, we want to, one of our goals is do a podcast every week, and just sometimes you have to make sacrifices and do what you can to get it done. And our kids weren't in school this week, and it's been a busy week, so they're just watching a movie, and hopefully they don't interrupt, but we'll see. They probably will, and that's okay. So first I think we just want to talk about the importance of making goals and how that can really transform your career and how that can transform your life. It's so important to have clear goals and dreams. So
yeah, the thing about having clear goals is that you know where you want to end up, so you build from there.
It's kind of like working backwards.
So whatever your goal is, let's say in 10 years, if year 10 looks like that, how does year 9 look? And you start building backwards. And once you realize what your next step is, it's so much easier to know what to do to get to that goal. Could be 10, could be 5, could be 3 years. We have had many goals throughout the years that in the long terms always shift.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it changes, but it's important just to have it. It's probably going to change, but that's okay. And I think that the long-term goals are probably more like a dream, like the 10 years, at least for us. Yeah, a lot of people probably do achieve that, and they are in that exact place where they said, but for me it's not important to be in the exact spot that I thought, because even bigger and better things can sometimes happen if you allow it. But dream as big as you want, and that's how you achieve bigger, great things. So
yeah, you sometimes you get a surprise. Sometimes the number becomes something different, and varies. Life changes too. Maybe now you don't have a kid, and in a year you do, and your goals are gonna change completely if that happens.
So what do our goals look like? I think would be, we're not expert, we're not gonna write a book or something, but I mean, we read at least I've read a lot of books that talk about what it should look like, and listen to podcasts and
well, yeah, there's a lot podcasts, classes, even continuing education for us agents. Also, there's classes that talk about why it's important to set goals and all this stuff. What does it look like?
Well, first it's a dream.
I think that you have to start shoot for, how do you say it in English? Shoot for the moon. Yeah, maybe you'll reach the sky.
Shoot for the moon, and what is it? Oh shoot, I don't remember, something like fall in the stars or I don't know. Somebody type it in the comments, so I can't remember that. But
idioms in a second language are super
very
hard.
Cool to see, cheesy.
Yeah.
But seriously though, I mean, that's what we do first. Our dream, obviously, our story was, our dream was to have financial freedom, and then from there, that's your why, and that's behind every goal you make. So, I guess for 2022, we didn't meet all of our goals, and we're not upset about that, because we had to pivot because the market changed, and that's why we didn't meet the goals. And
at the same time, I think that we met them in a weird way. That's why I was saying numbers change.
Yeah.
So let's go into some of those. For example, one of our goals was to do at least 2 flips in 2022. We did only one, however, we
the profits from it were equivalent to 2
or
for most
3
people. Yeah. So, yeah, you think about it that way. We did technically kind of make enough money to say we made, did 2 flips. But just as we sold our flip, the market changed, and we knew there's no coming back. So we were like, nope, we're not doing it. And never invest in something if the numbers don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like if you don't feel comfortable.
We've talked about this before, and I'm going to talk about very briefly. I've analyzed so many properties that came my way for flips, and because there really was any other exit strategy that could work with those properties, so it had to be a flip. And I was always telling people, well, I need to buy it $60,000 less than what you're offering it to me, $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 even.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't fit the criteria that you're looking for, it's okay to say no, because then you can get into big trouble and lose a lot of money if you don't respect your own goals especially for flips. Because flips, you gotta have a backup for that. Either you refinance and rent it out, but if it doesn't work really, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. And then our other goal was to buy 2 rental properties. Because we wanted to take that money from the flips and put them into properties. But numbers just weren't making sense, and we made offers. We made plenty of offers.
Yes. So many.
And we, in the story we told on our couple episodes ago, we were this close to closing on that one that I still am so sad about. I loved that house, but yeah, now they're pending. So
yeah.
That would have been our number 2, because the property we're living in now is technically an investment. So
yeah, so this house allowed us to put our Rockford house up for rent, and take advantage of some tax deductions that way. And we're not living that far out now, so it's been nice.
Yeah. So I'm satisfied though, and that's like all that matters too. Is we worked really hard, and we're in a spot where even I feel like we've achieved more than I thought we were going to in 2022. I mean,
yeah,
our business is still a baby, and we've done so much more than I ever thought I could or had the confidence to do, even just a couple of years ago. So
yeah, because we had goals for your interior design on its own, to your interior design business on its own. We had a goal that came after we talked to our accountant, which was buying the truck for our business, which I never thought that I would love a truck the way that I like that car. Like it's kind of weird because I'm not a car guy, but this truck is so beautiful.
Yeah, we always had the goal to buy a truck, and we did that because also that truck is probably about 95% business, and we're going to use it sometimes to do a trip or 2. So
I would say 100%. I mean, except some trips to the grocery store in
Well,
occasions.
it is now, but in the future, it's going to be to go on a couple camping trips because it can pull more than our other car. So
yeah, and it's a business truck. I mean, it has our logo and all our information all around it. Like we did some decals, and it is our business truck, and that was our backup plan for the second house.
Yeah.
So one way or another,
it's not an investment that makes us money, but our info's on it and all that. So maybe you never know. But yeah, that was how we had to pivot. We had to let go, of that property, and just the market wasn't good enough for us to feel comfortable I mean, none of our offers got accepted. We only offer what we're comfortable with and what we know that we're going to cash flow. You know, our numbers for cash flow are probably different than other people's, what we expect to see out of a property. So,
yeah, we don't do it just to accumulate properties and looking at the future return or future cash flow, or we look at the whole picture. We look at the BRRRR method, basically. I mean, how much, what are the exit strategies that we can have with it?
Then our why is financial freedom. So we need to have a certain amount of cash flow so that we can have that passive income to live our life and be with our kids more in the future, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and also we had goals for closings as agents, representing buyers, sellers, helping people acquire and dispose real estate. Unfortunately, the second half of the year, we were pretty much there the first half, but the second half with the market change, it wasn't something that we were anticipating. I don't think anyone but the doomsday preppers were anticipating such a shift. And that impacted our closings too. So
there's nothing you can do about it,
Yeah.
We're still in a good spot, and so how we go about our goal planning is we sit down and we have this whiteboard where we would write all our goals. But so when we moved, it got erased. So I'm going to write them on a piece of paper.
Piece of paper or on the computer, some sort of file that you can go back to. I would do computer, piece of paper, like do it in the computer, type it on the computer, print it out, and then put it on the whiteboard if you have one.
Yeah, tape it up. Like we're gonna do that. We actually haven't done that yet, so that's on our plans to do. We have an idea of what we want them to be, but you always should write them down. Like it's so important to write your goals down, because then you see them, you look at them, and you're reminded of them. And I find that every time I write them down, they are more likely to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's kind of funny because it happened to one of our friends and clients, and another investor, Ken Muck. Like he wanted to find his house. He put it in his goals, in dreams, or
board.
Yeah, in his board. Like he actually showed us when we sent him that property. He's like, dude, I just wrote this like not even a week ago, and you found my house. Like it's amazing. That kind of thing happens.
Yeah, so we're believers in manifestation, and
Law of
all
attraction.
the universe comes together to create what you put out there. So
you create your own reality. So if you visualize and see your goals, your chances of achieving those goals are going to be higher than if you don't, because otherwise your mind is dispersed. But if you have a clear set of expectation, it doesn't have to be, I want to become a millionaire by the end of the year,
Yeah, because if you just say, I want to become a millionaire, I mean, that's not specific. Like, it has to be also specific. So write down your goals, and then, think about the steps that you're going to take to get there, and be specific about what it looks like when you achieve that goal. Like, imagine what your life will be like when you achieve the goal, and imagine what it feels like to get there. Because when you imagine the feelings of getting there and doing the things to get there, that's how you trick your basically your body and your mind to think you're in that reality. So there's a little hack for you. That's in the book. I
was going to say.
I finished it. It's such
what's the name of the book?
It's called You Are the Placebo by Joe Dispenza. It's very good. I highly recommend it.
So for 2023, what our goals kind of look like right now, because like Kirsten said, we still need to sit down and really write them down, but we do have an idea, and of course we should, because it's the end of the year. You need to start planning for next year. One of the goals is to acquire 5 properties.
5 properties Or we talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Or so at first we thought 5 properties, but then we're like, no. Or I think it's better to have a number in mind for the amount of money we want to make from those properties, and instead of saying 5 properties, let's say we want to make this amount of money per month, cash flow, passive income, by the end of the year. And if that happens with 1, like commercial multifamily property, great. If it happens with 5, great. So
5 single families, or like 2 duplexes, or
yeah,
whatever the case is.
Yeah, so that's kind of too, if you start thinking about them, towards the end of the year, you think, 5 properties, and then you're like, no, like, let's change that, because then in your mind you can kind of figure out what makes more sense and what's going to allow more to come into your life. Because if you're like, no, 5 properties, then you will find 5 properties. It might be more work than if you just had to do 1 or something,
Yes.
So let's have the easiest and fastest way.
Yeah, because goals can be set up in several different numbers. Could be cash flow, could be profits, could be number of properties you acquire, number of properties you flipped.
Yeah. And ours is cash flow number.
Yeah.
We want to be making a certain amount more by the end of the year. Because like I said, our why is financial freedom.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, and then as agents too, our goal.
We don't really have a goal, the number of people to help. I think it's just help more people. Like what?
Every year, yeah. Our goal is not as specific. It's just help more people than the last year.
What I've been saying is like the people that need our help will find us. Because I know that there's people out there that need our help, and so if, my goal is that everybody that needs our help finds us, and to market ourselves and like have this podcast and maybe work on social media more and all those types of things so that those people can find us,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our list of clients, and we're very excited about all of them being able to achieve at least the first few steps of financial freedom. So
yeah,
it is also important not only to set business goals but personal goals, because let's be realistic. There's a reason why we do this. Investing into real estate or any kind of investment is with the goal of financial freedom. So how we also like to think about how our personal life is gonna look like, because our motor or motivation or is our kids, our kids. That is what makes us do what we do. So one of our goals, and it has been our goal also for 2022, is to go on 4 vacations.
Yeah, go on 4 vacations a year. They don't need to be expensive, but we just need to, have family time and dedicate time to that. Yeah.
Yeah, a vacation could be a trip to somewhere that's different and new for just 5 days. Like it doesn't mean that you have to go to Disneyland and spend $20,000 and all that stuff. No.
You don't want to have too many, but you also don't want to have too little.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I'm, also one of my personal goals is to start working out regularly again. That's
always the New Year's goal, right?
Oh my gosh,
I'm gonna lose weight.
I was saying it and I felt so stupid.
I know.
But it is a goal. I used to work out every day. At one point, I was working out every day, twice a day, except Sundays that I would work out only once. So, either playing basketball or football or whatever the case was, I had that going for me, and I feel the need of that. I'm not out of shape by any means. But My shape is looking like a circle more and more.
Yeah, well, yeah, I have the dad bod.
Right? I'm a dad of 2. So...
Oh, those are kids.
Yeah. Yeah, then, I don't know, go into it like... for example, one of your goals too is to meditate more often and make it a goal. Like for me, my meditation is working out, so I feel so much better when I do that on a regular basis. I'm also very artistic, so one of my goals too is to be able to either draw or play guitar a little bit more often. That's gonna be pushed back quite a bit, and I know that. But it's
but you could be creative about how you find time for those goals. Like one of the ways you could do that, which I know you probably know this, is sit down with our daughter Rumi, who loves to draw, and you draw with her.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's one of the plans of action that I had for drawing. What happens with me is that I feel the need of doing something. So I think about it, and then at one point I'm like, okay, let's do it. It's just like, comes like that. And setting up that goal, it's going to push me to do that, flip the switch faster, And that's what setting up goals does. Like when I lost like 70 pounds, in a matter of like 6 months, it was because I had that goal. It wasn't a matter of pounds, it was about something else, but I digress.
As always.
Yeah, so those are our goals for 2023.
Yeah, and kind of how we set ourselves up for the new year. And I guess I'll just add one more thing, is like, it's been a really slow end of the year, and so we've been taking the time to just set our 2023 up by, networking and talking to people and
going to meetings and
and also like taking that rest that we also needed too from such a crazy year.
Yes.
And yeah, so we're excited to get into 2023 and hit the ground running, and hopefully, things will pick back up again. I think they will. They always do. Real estate is just a cyclical business, even if it's, cyclical as in like 10 years, even within the same year, it's like, it's just like that because it kind of goes with the seasons and everything.
Correct. And it always changes. It's kind of funny doing kind of like an amendment of our predictions for 2023 video or episode. Interest rates, for example, back when we recorded that video, podcast episode, whatever, we had all the information was pointing towards interest rates going crazy. And now there's more and more people and loan officers that are telling us, well, it seems that now, because of all these different things that we're seeing, maybe they're going to go down.
The prediction is they'll be down, and Redfin predicts that too. By the end of next year, they'll be down below 6. Yeah, so back in the 5s.
And back in the 5s by spring. That's what I've heard from many people.
People said that too, but Redfin says the end of the year.
Each one has their own opinion.
Yeah. So that's looking up. I mean, that's good. Yeah. Hopefully they won't get much higher than they have been.
Yeah. I mean, they're not historically, they're super low still, but coming from almost 2% interest rate, which is unrealistically low, going up to where we're at right now, it was a big change.
Yeah. We hope that you took something out of this short but sweet video podcast, whatever platform you are watching it on or listening on. So
yeah, we
will see you all in 2023, and let us know if you have any questions or comments.
Write all your comments down below if you're on YouTube. I don't know if there's a way to write comments on
No, there
podcasts.
isn't. Just go on over to Instagram and send us a message.
Yes. Tell us our goals. We want to hear about them.
Yeah.
Write them down. Share it with everyone. Maybe you see someone's goal there and you're like, oh, that's cool.
And contact us if we can help you reach your goals, because maybe we can. We'd love to talk to you.
Until next year. Happy New Year. Thank you for listening to today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it and took some valuable information out of it. If you want to reach out to us with comments or questions, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and our website, milagrohomesre.com.